Hey fighters, you're watching WrestleWire 24/7, your go-to for everything WWE. Subscribe, tap the bell, and let's dive deep. Gunther stands alone in the ring, calm and commanding, carrying himself like a man who believes the mat beneath his feet belongs to him by right. Every word he speaks is deliberate, sharp, and filled with certainty, sending a clear message that dominance is earned, not requested. Then the energy shifts. CM Punk's music hits, and the arena transforms. Punk walks out with purpose, eyes locked forward, refusing to be intimidated. He doesn't rush. He doesn't flinch. The tension between them is immediate and heavy, built on pride, history, and two completely different views of what greatness means. They come face to face, neither man backing down. No fists fly, no chaos erupts, but the silence is louder than any fight. This isn't a confrontation meant to end tonight. It's the beginning of something far more dangerous. Gunther opens Raw with absolute authority. The night began with Gunther asserting control before the crowd could even settle. His presence alone demanded attention, and once he spoke, the arena listened. There was no shouting, no desperation, only confidence rooted in discipline. Gunther spoke about standards, about what it truly means to stand at the top, and how too many competitors chase recognition without earning it. His words weren't rushed. Each sentence landed with intention. The crowd reacted strongly, sensing that this wasn't a routine promo, it was a declaration. Gunther positioned himself as the measuring stick of modern wrestling, making it clear that respect isn't given freely. By framing his message around accountability and excellence, he elevated himself above simple rivalry. This wasn't personal yet. It was professional. And that made it even more unsettling for anyone who felt the message applied to them. A message that shook the locker room. Gunther's promo carried weight because it felt real. He didn't target one individual by name, choosing instead to challenge the mindset of the entire roster. He questioned who truly belongs in the main event conversation and who simply benefits from reputation. The controlled tone made the words sting even more. Fans could feel that this was the kind of speech that echoes backstage long after the cameras cut away. Gunther wasn't seeking applause. He was setting expectations. By positioning himself as the embodiment of discipline and dominance, he dared anyone listening to step forward and test him. The crowd's reaction reflected that tension. Some cheered, others waited nervously. This was the kind of promo that creates consequences. When a competitor speaks with this level of certainty, it almost guarantees that someone will feel compelled to respond. CM Punk's arrival changes everything. The moment CM Punk's music hit, the entire tone of the arena shifted. The reaction was immediate and explosive, fueled by anticipation rather than surprise. Punk didn't rush to the ring. He walked with confidence, fully aware of the moment he was stepping into. When he entered the ring, the contrast between the two men was undeniable. Gunther stood composed and unmoved, while Punk radiated intensity and purpose. Punk didn't interrupt. He didn't grab a microphone. His silence spoke volumes. The stare between them told a story of two philosophies colliding: structure versus rebellion, order versus defiance. The crowd leaned into the moment, waiting for escalation. Instead, they got restraint. That restraint made the confrontation even more powerful, proving that sometimes the most dangerous moments are the quiet ones. Gunther walks away with a smile. Rather than escalating the situation, Gunther did something unexpected. He smiled, There was no sign of fear, no hesitation in his movement. He stepped back, laughed softly, and exited the ring. That decision instantly sparked debate. Was this confidence, knowing he controls the pace? Or was it a calculated move to deny Punk the confrontation he wanted? Either way, it worked. By walking away, Gunther shifted the power dynamic. He forced Punk to stand there with unanswered questions, while the crowd buzzed with speculation. This wasn't avoidance, it was strategy. Gunther showed that he doesn't react emotionally, even when faced with a challenger of Punk's stature. In wrestling, control isn't just physical. Sometimes it's psychological, and in that moment, Gunther proved he understands that better than most. Rey Mysterio's presence shifts the energy. Rey Mysterio entered his match with a different kind of focus after that encounter. His posture, his movement, and his intensity reflected a competitor who understands exactly where he stands. Rey has built his career on resilience, proving time and again that heart and experience can overcome power. Crossing paths with Gunther reminded the audience, and perhaps Gunther himself, that Rey is still a factor. The crowd responded with strong support, feeding off Rey's energy. He didn't need to address the moment directly. His performance did the talking. WWE thrives when legends remain relevant without being forced into nostalgia. Rey continues to represent that balance perfectly, reminding everyone that greatness doesn't fade, it adapts. 3 superstars, 3 directions. By the end of the segment, WWE had quietly created 3 possible paths without confirming any of them. Gunther stands as the dominant force, CM Punk as the defiant challenger, and Rey Mysterio as the ever-dangerous veteran. Each potential matchup tells a different story. Gunther versus Punk promises intensity built on ideology. Gunther versus Rey offers power against speed and experience. Punk versus Rey brings unpredictability and respect layered with tension. WWE didn't rush to define the future, and that patience paid off. Fans were left debating possibilities rather than reacting to outcomes. When multiple directions feel credible, engagement grows naturally. This wasn't about choosing a path. I was about opening the door to many. The crowd becomes part of the story. The live audience played a crucial role in elevating the moment. Their reactions felt organic, driven by genuine investment rather than expectation. Cheers, silence, and anticipation blended perfectly, creating an atmosphere that amplified every interaction. WWE relies heavily on crowd energy, and this segment thrived because the audience understood its importance. They weren't just watching, they were participating. Each superstar received a distinct reaction, reinforcing their identity. Gunther commanded respect, Punk drew passion, and Rey earned admiration. That balance is rare and powerful. When a crowd responds with clarity, it validates the storytelling direction and makes future payoffs feel earned. Why this segment matters long term. What made this Raw segment special was restraint. WWE trusted its characters and its audience. There were no forced announcements, no rushed matches. Instead, the company focused on character-driven storytelling. Gunther didn't need to dominate physically to assert control. Punk didn't need words to remain dangerous. Rey didn't need confrontation to stay relevant. Each moment served a purpose, building anticipation rather than resolution. This approach strengthens long-term storytelling, making eventual clashes feel meaningful. When fans sense intention behind every interaction, they stay invested. This wasn't filler, it was foundation. The road ahead feels unpredictable. As Raw continued, one thing became clear. The landscape had shifted. Nothing was settled, yet everything felt different. Gunther remains dominant, CM Punk stands ready, and Rey Mysterio remains a wild card capable of changing everything. WWE doesn't need to rush what comes next. The tension is already doing the work. Whether these paths collide sooner or later, the groundwork has been laid carefully. This was the kind of raw moment that lingers in fans' minds long after the show ends. Not because of chaos, but because of possibility.